Hey everybody, so the next thing we're going to be taking a look at for our platformer game is placing in some rewards like these coins. Take a look in this game, you have a nice row of animated coin sprites, and if I go and touch them, I can get the coin, it eats the coin, and of course I also get points. Yes, and maybe I can trigger, something to happen at particular points once I get a certain number of points. I think that'd be really fun. However, what a pain to put all those coins in. Oh my gosh. If you have to put in sprites that say something like, set position, and you have to like type in all the numbers for those sprites, I mean, it's not terrible when you have like whatever that is, like 10 sprites or whatever, but you could have a lot of coins in a level. And I would really like to be able to just paint in those coins, just like tiles. So you could theoretically use a tile for that, but I like the fact that they're animated, and I like a lot of the mechanics you can do with sprites. Like this dissolve is so nice. I think it looks so cool the way the coin is being like destroyed sort of thing. I think that's cool. So it's nice to be able to use sprites. We know a lot about sprites. So I came up with a way to make it so that I don't have to manually position all the sprites. I'll show you how to do it. So if you look inside this tile map, let me just zoom in. You'll see that the coins are spawned at these tiles. You never see those tiles, right? I picked this tile because it's like more of a top-down tile, and it kind of looks like a coin, I guess, a little light thing in the middle. But we're gonna just search for all of these things one by one and replace them with a coin sprite, and that's basically that's how we're gonna feed it in. I should be able to, although occasionally this doesn't work, but we'll see. If I just paint more of these, that's this one. I'll go to paint. That's too big. Like if I just do this, oh, I've done too much. Undo. Careful. Okay, if I do that, I should get a bunch more coins. Let's see if I refresh. Oh, I don't. Oh, I do. Yay. So look at that. So look at all these coins just showed up, right? I just drew more and they just showed up. And they're not tiles, they're sprites. So I can do some fun things with that I can normally only do with sprites. And it's automatic. So I think this is fantastic. I'll show you the code for that. That is contained inside of the function place coins. So we'll go look at what that looks like. And here it is. This is a little bit tricky to put this together. So the first thing is the four element loop, and then there's this array of all torch locations, like whatever that tile is. So these are kind of two separate things. You can find the loop inside of for element here, and that's a good place to start. This list is looking for like a collection of things. So you know what a list is just in regular life, right? You can make a list of things to do, a list of your favorite movies. It's just an itemized sort of list of many different values. And so what we can do is get a list of all of the locations that look like a particular tile. And that's this array of all locations. The word array, we don't have to get into it right now. It's kind of like a list. It's a collection of many different things, and the difference between an array and a list we'll get into in a future lesson. So let's take a look at in scene, and we can probably find that one. It's a little bit hard to find, but you can scroll through, and at some point we'll see array. Here is second to bottom, way down here. So we can plug that into where the list is, and then we get something that looks like this. So array of all, and you can just click and take a choice of what locations you want to find, and then this loop will go and visit all of those locations, and each time the location is called value. So what I can do is kind of program a general thing to do with the location at value, which is unfortunately not a great name, so I wish I could rename it, but I can't. But I can just kind of program what to do with one value, and it will apply it to all the locations. So here I go. I first make a sprite of kind coin, and then I can place the coin on top of value, and that's this thing here. I just drag and drop that into value. So it will place it on top of this location, and it'll do this for every location. I'll delete that location afterwards. Like I'll get rid of that torch look because I don't want to see it. If I don't have that there, then that will still be there. So you don't have to delete it, but I really wanted to delete it. And then I set it into an animation. And This is an animation I just borrowed from MakeCode. I'm having it loop forever so that we can see it spinning prettily in the air, and I think that's pretty fun. So that is basically the technique, and then it just goes and searches for all of those torches, and then I get that awesome bunch of coins, and I can paint them all day long, and I don't have to do much work. This automatically does it every time I call place coins. So there you go, folks. You can now paint in a bunch of sprites. This will be useful for making enemies as well, because you don't want to like manually place. If you have lots of enemies, you don't want to manually place them. You want to spawn them in particular locations. So I think this will be useful for many different types of things where you want to add in a sprite, or a group of sprites, I should say, to a bunch of different locations. Okay, so good luck with that, and I hope that makes things helpful. The next thing is we're going to look at other things that we can collect. Points is great, and maybe we can spend the points on something at some point. No pun intended. But also power-ups. How do we get stronger? So that'll be our next video. Okay, thank you.